Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Biz Meds. We are your hosts. My name is Saad.
And I'm Darris.
And for today's neuroscience-backed daily or minimum effective dose, we're coming to you with a topic that everybody's kind of seeing lately, and it's how routines prevent you from becoming successful. I'm sure everybody, have you seen the new this new famous routine that this Fitfluencer has been doing lately?
I think probably.
Okay, let me send that to you here really quickly. I want to see your reaction while you're watching.
We're gonna do a live reaction to this.
I just sent this to you.
Okay. Are you watching it too?
Oh, okay. I'll watch it with you. Yeah.
Okay. Ready?
Yep.
Okay. He's up at 3:50 in the morning.
4 a.m.
Oh wow, that's a 1 minute brush your teeth. That's not good.
Yeah. Like,
wow. Oh.
Took him 3 minutes.
Three minutes to walk out the patio door.
Who's he got cleaning the bottle of whatever mess he made? Also, like, time is moving very fast for him.
I know, but he did 3 minutes of reading.
Yeah.
And now watching a video while he's drinking. And okay, he must have someone preparing all this for him.
Yeah.
But now it's been like 2 hours, 2.5 hours. It's 6 a.m. now, and he's just getting dressed.
Yeah, I don't understand how like time moved that fast.
Or slow. He got up at 3:55. It's now 6:16 as he's getting in the elevator.
I gotta be honest, like I haven't seen anything happen yet.
This is like nothing of value has actually happened yet.
Exactly.
Except he's showed off he's going to the skiing now, and he's flexing in front of a mirror.
Yeah.
Cool. All right. Put your jogging pants on. And so now 7. Okay. So it's 7:22. 4 hours has actually progressed before he has done any physical activity.
Exactly.
Cool. All right. I think that's
shaking
probably
hands with people.
It's good to meet you, man.
That took 5 minutes.
That's crazy. There you go.
Takes pictures. Drink another bottle of water from a glass bottle. Every wagon. And have another shower.
Banana peel, rub on the face. Very important.
Wow.
All right.
Cool. I've seen enough.
Yeah, exactly. Now, finally about to have his first meal. Okay. So.
All right. So we kicked it off. And so I think this is the best example of how routines will actually keep you from being successful.
Mm-hmm. And you know what? There's this aspect of what's that word? Like it gives you peace of mind when you're seeing somebody doing all these things. For sure, like it's like
dopamine.
Aesthetically pleasing
dopamine.
or like dopamine pleasing. I'm not sure.
That's why people watch it
Exactly.
is because it looks good and people love to see he's super successful. This must be what he does to make him successful.
Now I need to start doing it.
Yeah.
Right. And that's where my problem with that is, and I know like we've talked about this several times, that like your routines don't necessarily make you successful. They can prevent you from being successful. Now, hypothetically, say we're doing this, but we've got a client meeting at 7 a.m. This guy barely.
he's just finally starting doing some physical activity.
Exactly, right? And like by that point, so for us, it would be completely different, right? Like our routine for that day would be prepping what the client needs, taking the time to like.
Well, yeah. So this is we're now thoroughly in the area where like when does routine actually help you and when does routine not help you?
Yeah. This
is an example of routine that, you know what I don't like about that is it's contextual.
Mm-hmm.
And what I mean by that and what we're talking about is it's really just reflective of where he currently is, right? What that doesn't show is the execution over long periods of time it took him to achieve that.
Yeah, to allow that type of.
So now what he has is he has a certain level of success that allows him to get up at 3:55 or whenever it is, and take 3 minutes to walk out of a
Yeah.
sliding patio door to do some 3 push-ups, a minute worth of push-ups, and then smash a bottle on the.
Yeah, and then have somebody else wake up at
Clean it
4
up.
a.m. to clean up.
This is gonna be a lot of fun to poke at.
Yeah.
But what it's contextual. So that is really just a reflection of what he's able to do now, because let's say the routine and the actions of someone that is not at that stage, that has, I think when we looked, I think he had over 11 million followers
He's
on
got a
Instagram.
follower.
Yeah. So
he's got a follower.
he's got all these deals now. He's obviously doing, and all the power to you. This is not a like shit
Yeah.
on you because you're successful. This is you're making content, and what unfortunately people are going to take that content out of context,
Exactly.
and they're going to say, "Oh, well then I need to like." That's obviously the routine that has made him successful.
Mhm.
That's not correct. It's the same thing that has happened with, if you're familiar with Tim Ferriss and his whole podcast, when he's deconstructing successful people, one of his favorite questions was, "What's your morning routine?" And again, it's contextual, because like what the routine is now is they're at a different stage when they were
Mhm.
growing and scaling their businesses. You're not like, your morning routine isn't going to be the
Yeah.
same.
It grows and it adapts with like your circumstances and the time.
Absolutely.
Right? Yeah.
I mean, I can't think of anyone who has a business, let's say doing 3 million a year, and they have, 10 to 20 employees, is getting up at 3:55 in the morning
Mhm.
and, just starting to do a little bit of a workout,
Yeah.
a little run at 7:20 in the
Getting
morning.
his lemon iced
Getting
water.
lemon,
on his face.
yeah, lemon
and then
ice water, and your
banana
hostage
peel.
tape, and rubbing your face with banana.
Yeah.
They're more stressed about making sure payroll's done and all the things are ready. Someone's going to be at the store to open it and things like that. So it's really contextual. So, and then someone who is a billionaire, like their morning routine is going to be very different than someone, let's just say, like who's a 100 millionaire or, a
Yeah.
10 millionaire.
Yeah. Exactly.
Like those, they're highly contextual, and unfortunately, people get this thing where they associate that current thing with what it took
The
to
level,
actually
yeah.
get to that level.
Yeah.
That's kind of the rub here is, and then we're going to dispel that, because that trying to do that routine will actually keep you from being successful, because you're squandering your most precious resources,
Mhm.
your ability to focus, the time that you have, and what you're doing with that attention and focus.
Mhm.
And that's really the main part of that.
Exactly. Yeah. And it as cool as it is to see like people that have the ability or have gotten to the point in their career that they can do these types of things, I think it also creates a lot of distraction in your mind on how to get to where they got to.
That is a great
yeah.
point. That's fantastic.
Yeah.
It does. It is a distraction, because you then start to put your time and focus and attention into that, thinking that is going to be the thing
Mhm.
that is going to help you. And you're exactly right. It is a huge distraction.
Yeah. imagine showing up to like a client meeting, you're a business owner, and you're 10 minutes late, and they ask you like what took you. It was like, oh man, I was rubbing banana peel on my face. I'm sorry, like, but do I look good for the meeting? Your client's gonna be like, dude, yes, go. We're
fired.
done. Yeah,
You're
we're
fired.
get out of here.
Yep, that's
Yeah.
that's probably very
Yeah.
accurate. It's those types of things, and really, when it comes down to it, is we in our masterclass, we actually do promote routine. So, but let's dive into the difference of those routines, because like there's a routine like that which is completely again contextual, and if you're at that level where you have the freedom and the resources to do that, that is fantastic, right? Like if that is what energizes you, that helps you, stay achieving at that level. And obviously, I don't think he has an army of employees
No.
or anything like that, right?
But yeah, he's got somebody that's setting all of these things up for him, right?
Yeah. And for what a minute-long video, that thing probably took about 8 hours to film.
The banana needed to be in a perfect spot. Okay.
Yeah, we got to
Somebody
pick
had
the
to do
proper
it, yeah.
banana, and
Yeah.
I actually had to accidentally smash a
Yeah,
glass
a
on the
bottle,
thing
yeah.
and then film cleaning it up.
Yeah.
All those things, right? Oh man. So I guess okay. Well, why do we talk about routines, and why are routines such a helpful thing?
Mhm.
Well, from a neuroscience and just a basic physiology and anatomy, most of the decisions that we make during the day are they tax our prefrontal cortex, right? Because we have to think about them and we're making decisions, we just have a limited amount of energy that our brain can expend every day. There's only so much fuel in the tank,
True.
right?
Mhm.
And so what the routine does is we like to take the ability of streamlining a lot of those decision processes, kind of just package them up in a little box and say, okay, here. And by creating that much smaller, more efficient routine, I don't have to, it's not something I have to think about. I don't have to start making decisions and using up that valuable energy on really low value tasks.
Mhm.
And I can say, okay, cool. Can I create a really simple routine in the morning,
Mhm.
maybe in the evening, that just helps kind of like get me prepared? It's really efficient and I don't have to think about it. I can just do the same thing, execute that every day. Absolutely. But what is the benefit? The benefit is we're transferring that mental energy from your prefrontal cortex to your basal ganglia, right? So we're shifting the processing power. So it's like you have multiple processing centers in your brain that are handling different things. Well, we want to shift the focus or shift the energy drain from the prefrontal cortex, which is going to be very heavily used all day. So what you're going to have for lunch, or when to schedule meetings, or the decisions you have to make in a meeting, or the
Mhm.
thousands and thousands and thousands of decisions you have to make on a daily basis.
Mhm.
It's offloading that energy and that into another processing center of the brain, which is your basal ganglia. And that's when routines can be very helpful, but they're not these massive like
Yeah.
3 hour
Like, yeah.
things where what you're doing is you're actually, one, as you point out, distracting yourself with a whole pile of set of other things. And the risk of running one of those routines is that if you miss something, you're actually having to think about it's
What
so
did I- yeah.
complex that you actually have to start thinking about it. It's
Yeah.
not just an easy, buttery execution of it. It's you now actually think about it. And if you miss something, you're so tied up in that it is what's going to create the success
Mhm.
that it will now increase that overall cognitive load.
Exactly. Yeah.
And if you miss something, you're going to start to feel guilt, all those other things. And it just, again, that increases cognitive load.
Mhm.
That's going to not make it, it's
Yeah.
going to make it worse. It's not going to help you.
Exactly.
And the whole idea in the neuroscience game in our world is we have to remove as much of the non-essential as possible.
Yeah.
We have to preserve our most valuable resources, which is our attention and our focus and those neurochemicals that drive those process. And if we're squandering them or wasting them on those types of things, we're taking away from our ability to do the most important work.
Mhm. Yeah, there's a couple of things you said there that are like perfect understanding of like how he's able to do what he's doing. And there's somebody that's spending an entire day setting up all of these things for him to just show up and be able to do.
Yeah.
Again, we talked about this. He's in a place that he can do those things.
Yeah, it's contextual.
Exactly right. And the other thing you were talking about was that we do promote routines. We do promote like self-care as well. But again, contextually, you're spending like a lot of time throughout the entire week doing all the things that help move shit along. And then there's the time for R&R, relaxation and retreat type of thing, right?
Yeah.
And that's when you can like layer these things in that you feel like you would want to do, or I don't
Well,
know.
you can,
just, like,
yeah. So then
help
for the
recover.
recovery process of flow,
Mhm.
it's how do we get those things in? How do we layer those things to actually help replenish our neurochemicals versus I'm just using up a ton for no real reason.
Exactly.
Well, I guess okay. Then there's the other part of the conversation, which is really around. Okay, so you're great. You're up. You wake up at 10 to 4. Cool. I mean, we hear a lot of really successful people, and they're big advocates of get up early. And well, yes, I mean, I don't disagree with that, with the added part of saying it is still contextual, which means it's really dependent. If you are like a lot of people that get up early, right? You're an early riser. That's great. So you can, like, you're comfortable getting up at 5 a.m. Okay. There can be some benefit to getting up early. But if you are like some people who get their more productive and are higher productivity stages later on in the day, that prefer to work, later on in the evening till like 10 or midnight, well, you usually get up later in the morning. And so it's the idea of getting up early is really contextual. Get up earlier than you have, because then you can gain some additional time to refocus that time and energy. And you can use that to then collapse more time frames, get more stuff done, and ultimately achieve your goals in a shorter period of time. And that's the whole context of that. And it's not like, oh wow, yeah, I work because I'm really good at getting, from 10 to midnight is like my most productive time. I'm not saying that's me, but I'm using that as an example. But that means I'm not going to bed till like 1 a.m. If I'm getting 7 or 8 hours of sleep, I'm not getting up till 8 or 9 in the morning. Right? Okay. So could I get up at 7? Not, okay, cool, you're going to sleep for 3 hours till 4, because that's what means getting up early.
Yeah.
And that's really, I think, one of the big takeaways is that business is contextual. Routines are contextual. You can have a great routine like I won't say that's a great routine. I'm really agnostic in it. I don't really care if that works for you and your current in what makes sense for your current achievement and ability, and you have someone that you find value in doing that because you find that helps to be your best. Fill your boots, rock and roll, go ahead. The challenge is trying to then look at that and say, oh, I need to do that because that's what's going to make me successful. I'm going to guarantee you it's not. Here's what's actually going to make you successful. This is what it is.
And it was one of the reasons why I wanted to talk about this, is because like people are seeing this and they're trying to incorporate that into their lifestyles. And I actually heard 3 different people saying like, I'm doing the Ashton Hall routine. It's like, dude, shut up. And
for what?
And I've seen them be the most distracted people in the last like week or so.
Yeah.
And there's also this whole trend online trying to copy and see like if they can keep up with his routine. And it's just,
contextual. Like if that's what you're after and you want to be a fitfluencer, maybe that's
it could work. Yeah.
Could work. I'm going to say with a very high degree of certainty that is not the routine that he was doing when he first started going to the gym. And that wasn't the level of routine that he was doing when, along that journey. It's hey, I now have multi-million followers. I have a whole pile of other level of success and resources I didn't have before. And now I have the benefit that I can actually leverage that to be able to do this. Because you can't get around the execution. You can't get around the do. You have to be able to do. Like, there's no free lunch. Like, even as a business owner, like there is no way to get there. There's no magic wand you can just wave and
it's done. Yeah.
This is actually so this is a perfect time because and I'm sorry for my clients that if you know who you are when I say this, it was literally just a coaching session the other day, and it was when we talk about reclaiming time, because there's some really successful entrepreneurs out there like Dan Martell, who I work with, and it's his whole thing is around buy back your time. And, he talks about in his book, there's a guy who bought back all his time and he was able to just lay around. It's like, what are you doing, man? It's like, but again, it's contextual. If that's what you want to do, you have the ability to do that, but don't then try to fool yourself to think that, oh, okay, I just bought back all my time and that your business is suddenly just going to grow to $1 billion business. So it is contextual. Like I can't sit there and think that level of activity is going to then somehow magically get me to this other level of performance. So that's where it's like you can't buy back all your time or get to the point where you're laying on the couch and then expect some other.
I got extra time now and just gonna hang out on the couch
Yeah,
watching all the TV.
But
Where's
that
my
is
$1 million?
yeah. and maybe the work that you did in all of that allowed you to have $1 million business that allows you to lay on a couch. But then don't expect that to be $100 million or $1 billion business with that same without reinvesting the time that you've reclaimed into more of the execution and activities that continue to do that and creating more leverage and more activity and growing. It doesn't happen. So you can't escape the execution, can't escape the doing. And it's that is the part that most people try to skirt around. They're looking for the easy hack to not to do something. And you can't but there's ways of getting a lot more done in the same period of time, which is where neuroscience and flow comes in. But you can't escape. You can't just lay on the couch and be like, oh yeah, well, my business is going to grow and it's going to be all this thing. And
Darris helped me get my time back. Now I'm watching this new episode of or new series of TV.
Yeah.
Business is doing really well.
I mean, but that might be really happy for you at that level. And that's fine because it's contextual. But then don't compare yourself to someone like an Alex Hormozy who's after $1 billion, who's able to say, hey, he just issued a challenge saying, here's a 12 by 30. It's 30 days working 12 hours a day, no weekends, whatever it is. And or he himself, we talked about a few times, who will take the first 100 days of the year and work every day 12 to 16 hours a day. Don't sit there and be like, hey, I bought back all my time. I'm laying on a couch, or I've saved all this time, but I'm not I expecting the same results as someone who has done a lot of that, but is reinvesting that energy into continuing to grow because his goals, their goals, and their path is different. That's a huge, you're taking someone else's kind of as we talked about in the beginning, you're taking someone else's ingredient, trying to put it on your context and be like, well, it's not working.
No, exactly. Yeah. Well, maybe my banana is not the same quality banana.
What brand of banana did he have?
Yeah, exactly.
So
it's funny because actually people worry about that. The water bowl, apparently it's a specific water bottle. And if you're not utilizing that,
I just want people to think about how stupid that is.
It's
how stupid
absurd.
That is.
Absurd.
Right? People optimize the complete wrong things most of the time, which is why they struggle to grow, is because they're spending the wrong time on the wrong things. And it's the same thing we're going through. It's, we spent a lot of time and energy and we're optimizing for things that, this is the wrong thing to optimize. Okay, cool. Cut our losses and refocus. But here's the thing that's actually going to help. So if you want to wake up at 3:55 in the morning, cool. Here's why you might want to do that. Or here's probably why you want to skip that routine and try something different.
Yeah.
So we just talked about, you can't escape the execution. You can't escape the do. So if you can't escape it, you might as well hit it head on. And there is significant research. There's study after study. There's actually, and this is part of the neuroscience of flow and that when you're waking up, your brains are in a theta wave state. And when you're in flow, you're actually high theta alpha wave state, brainwave state. So you're actually the closest to being in a flow state when you wake up. This is why you would get more value out of taking that first hour or 90 minutes and diving right into deep work immediately. Because in that, let's say, hour, you get into a flow state and your productivity and your creativity is at least double, at least, the very minimum. You're going to achieve more in that same hour, 90 minutes than you would, what was it? He woke up at 3:55. It was 7:20. It was it's 4 hours later.
Yeah.
Right? In that first hour and a half, let's say, you'll have more done than in that first 4 hours.
Exactly.
Of the most important work that actually helps you move your business forward, that creates leverage, it helps you buy back your time, it helps you make more money, create more wealth, create more freedom. That is what would move the needle versus save yourself 4 hours a day, devote the first 60 to 90 minutes of just waking up, getting into flow state at whatever time that is. It needs to be 7 o'clock for you. I have to put the disclaimer in there because
I don't want to get.
I go to bed at 1. I have to get up at 3 now.
Yeah.
So I'm saying, just take the first hour, maybe wake up 30, 45 minutes earlier, and then devote that first block to deep work. Get into flow state. And that will then propel you. If you're doing that more consistently, you may not hit it every day, but if you're doing that a few times, that will take you much further than wiping your face with a fucking banana peel and using bottled sparkling water to soak your face in with some ice and smashing it on the ground later.
Exactly. Yeah.
In the steam room.
Yeah. and the steam room.
Aligning your chakras in the fucking steam room.
Yeah. Hey, 3 minutes walking to the balcony, that's an accomplishment.
Yeah. Anyway, so I think that's probably a good place to end it. This is why routines will keep you and prevent you from being successful. We taught you about how you can leverage routines. It's much more effective. But the most important thing to do is actually leverage that first time to get into flow state. So thank you, everyone. My name is Darris.
I'm Saad.
We're Biz Meds. We're here to give you the neuroscience-backed minimum effective dose to help you scale your business. So if you just joined us, thank you. If you've been with us for the long haul, like our mums have, solidly supporting us, we thank you. We love you. We just want to say, if you haven't subscribed already, make sure you subscribe all the channels, get your notifications. But also, if you want to learn how to leverage your own brain to reclaim your time, Neuroscience-backed course, we have a free masterclass that will help you reclaim at least 8 hours a week back every week. So register for that. Link is down below. And remember, you're just one day away from the life you've always dreamed about. We will see you in the next episode.